All right.
All right, here we go.
We're rolling.
Just rock and roll. All right, here we go. In this conversation, we're going to talk about. I heard this great quote I want to share with you.
Yeah.
It goes as follows: Every man has two lives, and the second one begins when he realizes he only has one. I think that's so powerful.
It's really powerful.
Every man has two lives, but the second one starts when he realizes he only has one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that gives me chills. I must say I had that experience now. Like I'm going through that experience right now.
I don't know if all men are experiencing that, but I think it's like a young man thing. Because when you're a young man, at least if you have a good young life, you feel invincible.
Certainly.
You feel super invincible, and you're gonna live life as if you have, as if you're a cat. Not 2, but 7. Well, yeah, so that's a great quote.
No, but certainly, I'm going through exactly that period right now after my mom's friend passed away. Yeah. It was so sudden, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm prepared to die, but I'm not uncomfortable with the realization that I will die, because that's inevitable. And my father have talked to me about that since I was a kid. So that's not something that is uncomfortable. I remember a girl I was dating. She had like a real problem even speaking about death.
Like she was dreaming about.
No, just speaking about it. Just speaking about death in general, like made her very uncomfortable. She didn't want to talk about it. She didn't want to address it. Don't want to think about it. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the. I don't remember all 5 now, to be honest with you, but it's like 5
absolutes, right?
5 absolute most. Things that people are most scared of.
Ah, okay, that's
like
what you mean.
Death of a family member, death, sickness of yourself. Loss of loved ones. That is the same as the family one. But so that's definitely something that is like death is very
taboo, almost
taboo, right? And I was reading about Seneca the other day. The Art of Dying, I think it's called.
Yeah,
and we spoke a little bit about it.
Exactly. Great book.
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about death, but it is very interesting to think about it.
It's one of those things that if you want to live a balanced life and a life where you are only faced with things that you can control, you should contemplate on death more frequently, specifically during times of stress, right? Like that's one of the passages that we read in that The Art of Dying by Seneca. I spoke to a student. This is a great example. I spoke to a student the other day, and his daughter was sick and he had a lot to do at work. And I coach him in mental discipline, right? And I asked him, I'm like, okay, but what's the worst that can happen? I'm like, is your daughter like, do we need to take her to the emergency room? And he goes, nah, she just has a cold. So whenever she's crying, that means she just want to be close to dad. I'm like, okay, cool. So what's the worst thing that can happen at work? You gonna get fired? He's like, no, I'm not. Like somebody in my team will pick it up. I'm the team leader, so someone in my team will pick it up. I can just delegate it. I'm like, okay. So what are we worried about? What are we stressing for? Because you might die tomorrow. So this little itch of stress that is uncomfortable when you're sitting down, this little scratching, right? It's like, why are we worried about this if that is not such a big deal that you're just saying? What are we doing?
So what you were trying to coach him to there was to delete worry.
Exactly. You wanna zoom out, because you can get so caught in the turmoil and the cloud of stress. So it's almost like your room becomes polluted. It's why, like when we work a lot, and it's like I can almost feel that our room gets polluted. It's like, I have to open the windows, let in some light. Let's go out. Let's move around. Let's move, because it opens up.
You're really good at that. Like sometimes like, we need to change the environment. We need to open up the windows.
It opens up. You want to let in life. You want to let in energy, right? And that's I think that's a pro tip. I think more people should use that. I think more people should. When you're feeling stressed, you have to remember the following quote: is that motion creates emotion. So open up the windows, get some motion coming in, some fresh air, some sunlight, get out, move around, leave the room, especially if you're a team, because that collective consciousness gets polluted very quickly, but it's also very easy to change that with some motion.
Yeah, and I think that's why like the companies that you work with got like really good like you got really good feedback from the things you do with companies. Like,
Certainly.
It's so simple things, right? Like just like literally you going in there for I don't know how long you go into those sessions, but like just getting some movement.
Yeah. We went in fast. It could be like from 10 to 20 minutes. 10, 20 minutes, come in, get some movement in, and then all of a sudden the revenue of the company goes up, right? What has changed? What's the one thing that have changed? They added movement in. I came in. Yeah. It is literally that simple. It's literally that simple. How crazy is that? Yeah. How crazy is that?
Like we are not meant to sit on chairs. Like
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like in a perfect world, I'd have this. I mean, we could probably do that. It could probably be in future episodes where like you're standing, right? Can we stand here?
You mean standing here?
Yeah, but like
it would be nice, like standing.
You're
desk.
Moving, yeah. But no, I think that's super important, and then to circle back. I mean, contemplating on death in general. Like, why am I worried about this? Will I worry about this on my deathbed? It's like, no, I won't. Okay, cool. So what am I doing? Yeah. Because you're only gonna, during a year, there's only gonna be just so many things that actually matters. Like things that like, okay, wow, like I should, here now is a moment to worry. Or like I need a little bit of worry to spice things up. It's like I need to close this student or this client of mine or I'm gonna end up on the streets.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move.
It's like, okay, then that's a moment to like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna use this pressure and rise to the occasion, which is different of just cracking under pressure, right? Yeah. But there is also a moment when you need to just take some distance and like, what am I worried over? Because I'm coaching so many people, and the worries you hear, they're mostly the same. It's like work related, love related, purpose related. I think it's those three.
So which one is the most common? Work related?
I want to say work related. Yeah, the majority of people are really on. I read somewhere that 75% of every person working
I read something similar. Yeah.
is
not
unhappy
with their life.
Exactly.
Work situation,
exactly right. Exactly right. So just if you have a work that you're like semi happy with, that you should be grateful of that. Yeah. But I think a lot of people need to practice being grateful, because what it comes down to is the fact that you're not grateful enough. Because for me, just going out the door, and I'm grateful. Like I'm so grateful for the smallest of things. I keep coming back to that. I'm such a simple guy. Yeah. One of my biggest blessings is that I'm grateful for the small things. I get genuinely happy. Like I don't need to go to like give me a glass of water and a Snickers. And I'm in perfect.
Don't underestimate that Snickers, bro.
And I'm in perfect balance. I don't need a lot. Just give me a glass of water and a Snickers. Like I'm chilling. Don't worry about me.
But I really think that when you ask people like, are you grateful and stuff, like, I think 99% of people, maybe not 99%, but a lot of people would say, yes, I am grateful. However, they are not practicing gratitude.
Exactly.
Which means they are grateful, like, because when you ask them, but they are not living as if they are grateful. They don't consciously bring up those thoughts often enough.
How crazy is that, right? The majority of people think they are grateful, but in their day-to-day life, they are not practicing gratitude.
And I'm talking from experience, because I don't always feel like, oh my God, I'm so great. I've been, like, when I go to sleep, right, I don't always feel I've been doing the day perfectly.
No, but it's not about doing the day perfectly, but it's about going to bed. But bro, like, I almost never go to bed feeling like, oh yeah, that was a perfect day. It's like it's not the point. The point is to go to bed. It's like, wow, like what a great Sunday I had. What a great Monday I had. That's like today. Like we've been running today. Yeah. Like running, been trying to catch meetings. Meetings ran over. Was delayed all day. But it's just that 30 minutes went down. Like we're lucky right now, or we're not lucky. We made this reality where we live close to the ocean, right? Yeah. But it's still the point of like
2 minutes away.
2 minutes away from the ocean. Say something.
2 minutes away.
But it still comes down to the point of like, even when we didn't have this, even when we lived in fucking Malta Australia,
from the ocean.
Yeah, well, like we like ocean, right? We do like the ocean and the sun. We do like the ocean and the sun.
But even when we didn't live in these locations.
When we lived in Australia, when we lived in Norway, when we lived in Sweden, we still were happy and grateful. It's not about being satisfied. It's about being proud of you, how long you came. It's about being grateful for the little things you have. If you can't, and I think that comes down with the people you surround yourself with. Because if I don't want to eat next to people I'm not ready to starve with. I don't want I don't want to eat next to nobody. I don't want to share a plate next to nobody. I don't want to share a table next to nobody that I'm not ready to starve with. That's just my mindset.
That's a pretty nice quote. I never heard it before, actually. That you're not ready to starve with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Starve.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to starve with me, you don't deserve to have a 5-course meal with me.
I got you. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. If you're not ready to live under a bridge with me, if shit hits the fan, you're not ready, or you're not worthy of living in a 5-star hotel together with me, or living in paradise together with me.
Yeah.
For sure not.
Yeah.
That's the mindset.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to get down and dirty, let's just cut it here. Yeah, let's just cut it. Let's just cut it. No more cigars. No more cigars. Sun och koll.
Okay, yes answer. Okay, we're rolling again.
Är det så kul att reta så det?
I don't know. But I want to go back to death. I think that death is super interesting to talk about.
I think it's an important subject.
Because it's so top of mind.
Let me text this.
The everlasting question: what happens after death? No one knows. No one really knows. But it's very interesting to talk about, because if you believe in a certain religion, that would correlate to that. But if you don't, you can have your own version and your own hippie version of what you think is going to happen.
Certainly.
But maybe circle back to the quote, like you actually start living when you realize. What did you say? How was the quote?
Most men, every man lives 2 lives. The second life begins when he understands he only has one.
Yeah.
Because before they're just fearless, running around, fucking around. You got no absolutes in life. You're just existing in the cloud of in a pool filled with clouds, and then just everything you're good. Like you have time, right?
And what kind of events in one's life puts you into the last life, so to say?
I think it's drastic events. I think it's drastic events. It doesn't need to be big.
No.
But it can be the passing, the rapid passing of someone, the void that person creates, an injury could also be one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like when you're sick and you get like brutal. It's like, oh wow, like
it could be smaller things also.
Yeah,
you just
right.
meet a person, right?
Yeah, right.
That inspires you to do
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
To make you believe in something.
Exactly, most certainly. But I think those are the things that shapes us and creates the person we become in our second life, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't think I think also that's what distinguish a man from a boy or a woman from a girl.
Yeah.
A woman understands that she's gonna die, so she don't fuck around with her time. She don't spread her time to everyone. Don't share herself with everyone. Same thing with a man. It's like, at what point am I gonna hold myself to a higher standard and start to live life up here and not only live life down here? I'm pretty convinced that's what it is.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I love our exercise, death race.
Death race, best thing
because,
ever.
like, we are simulating death.
Yeah.
And because that gives you some kind of urgency.
Yeah, but if you're doing
take
it,
action on
if you're doing it right, okay. So we have this exercise that we call death race. Death race is essentially when you are. We've been doing this every third month for the last 4 years. 4 years now.
Yeah, it's probably 4 years.
Every third month, every fourth year, we go into first. We dress up, best clothes in your house, the best clothes you have. You shave, you cut your hair, you do whatever you need.
Don't
to do.
cut your hair yourself, though.
No. You go to a barber, cut your hair. Point is that you're gonna simulate death, right? Yeah. So you're gonna look as sharp as you possibly can. Shoes on, makeup on, bam, dress, perfume. Then you go into the darkest room in your house. And you lay on the ground, and you stay on the ground. I usually stay like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on how heavily I need to
usually
go.
do 45. Like
I've been hallucinating during these sessions.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been hallucinating during these sessions, like real hallucinations. And then you go in there and you contemplate your life on what have been the common denominator for the last 3 months. What do you like? What do you don't like? And what do you need to bury?
Yeah.
And in the beginning, first time you do this, you go back as far back in your life as you can. Yes, you remember. You go back with 5 years increments. So when I did that, because I moved a lot, so it's okay. I used to live here. Oh yeah, and then I lived here. Yeah, oh yeah, and then I lived here. You just go through your entire life cycle. It's like, okay, but what
you have in your brain, you have like different phases.
Exactly, so different markers, right? So my houses are like markers in my life. Okay, I lived here when I was this old, then I lived here and I was this old. Then I moved to Australia, then I moved to Norway, and in Norway I lived in these houses, and then I moved to Malta, and then I moved to Spain, and da. And then, you contemplate, and then you bury that person, and you close the door, and you leave the room, and that person is now buried. Yeah. Or that trait is now buried. So maybe you're burying your self-doubt or your negative self-talks or that toxic relationships of yours. Like, these are all things that I've buried. Yeah. These are all things that I've buried, like, multiple times.
Yeah. Me too. That's super powerful exercise. Recommended for anyone who's watching. Like, really, like, death race.
Death race.
If you want
details, exactly.
Sebastian.
And we actually got this exercise from one of our mentors that we took a mentor course from. We did not come up with this. It was Tim Grover. It was Tim Grover, Michael Jordan's trainer, whose mentor group both me and David were part of. I got a scholarship from the first one. Got scholarship to join the second one. Joined the third one. No, joined the fourth one, and then I think we joined the fifth one also, something like that. But shout out to Tim Grover. Shout out Tim Grover. Also the author of the book Relentless and the book Winning and the book Jump Attack, which we got all three. Yeah. Say something.
They're all three amazing books.
And I got Relentless signed. Just want to throw that in there. Kind of a fan.
How did you get it signed?
I'm kind of a fan. I paid extra.
Yeah.
Paid extra for that.
Paid extra.
Yeah.
Some things are worth paying extra.
That was a one-click upsell. I clicked that shit so hard. Yeah. Do you want this signed? Yeah.
Yes.
Don't know how much it cost, but I paid some extra stuff for that.
Yeah. And I made my brother, 20-year-old brother, to buy his Relentless system.
Ooh, true.
It's like there's one mental coach that has this system. Like if you don't buy it, because my brother wants to become a mental coach for athletes. So there's no better guy than Tim.
Hey, of course not.
So he's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Nice, good quote. Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, what do we got?